It was 24 degrees last night. We slept in a little bit with the time change and all. It stayed dark longer in the morning. And this is Upper Laurel Fork Branch or Creek. Seems like they call a lot of them branches down here. Looks like it'd be a good trout stream. Water's moving fast. It's cold. Trail just kind of follows along it for a while. A little bit of rapids. Makes for some scenic hiking after walking in the woods for a while and seeing just trees. There's some proof it's still pretty cold up here. We still got icicles hanging off the mountains. We shared a shelter with some former thru-hikers. They hiked in 2018 and they were telling us a story about a guy. I don't think it was the year they hiked, but it was, I think, an older gentleman that was hiking on the Appalachian Trail in like one of the real cold months, like October or November. And he had just left the shelter and he fell into a creek and he knocked himself out. He was unconscious. And when he came to, he was able to crawl 0.1 miles back to the shelter and kind of climbed inside and was just laying there. And I don't know if he laid there for a couple days or a week, but finally somebody wandered upon him and they got the emergency people in there and they got him out and he survived, but he had to be a double amputee. They had to take both of his legs off. Man, boy, when you're hiking in this cold weather, that's probably the worst story I've heard for it. But hypothermia and frostbite and all that stuff is real. I can't imagine falling in a creek that time of year out here and just laying in the shelter. Glad he's all right. Wow. Blue just told me that after he got new legs, he went back and finished the trail. Now that's amazing. I must have missed that part of the story, or I was so hungry I wasn't listening good. Name of this fall is Hardcore Cascades. I kind of laugh because probably about 37 years ago, my supervisor put me on a crust with a guy who was the leader and he told me the guy was real hardcore. So ever since that day, I've kind of called my buddy Hardcore. He wasn't as hardcore as the supervisor let on, even though they told me he kicked the guy off the line for smiling. If he's watching this video, he'll know exactly who he is. Yeah, I kind of thought of that when I saw the name Hardcore Cascades. Campsite by a spring tonight, so we got a water source in a pretty open meadow. It was marked in our far out app we used to find spots where we might camp. Got a couple other people, the people that shared the shelter with us last night are up here. They thru-hiked in 2018, and there's an older gentleman with his dog that's doing a pretty large section of the trail right now. He's headed southbound. Tomorrow, not quite sure. We got a resupply at a hostel called Bear's Den, I believe, and we might attempt to do some slack packing if possible. We're still about 5-6 days out of Damascus. Maybe 5.